Thank you very much. Mr. Peary, you'll be recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, and members of the subcommittee, thank you very much for the opportunity to testify before you today. From energy security to defense cooperation to bolstering our economic ties and increasing opportunities for high-skilled workers to come to the U.S. or go to India, there are serious obstacles facing the U.S. as we rebalance to Asia. However, I believe our mutual interests and shared values can get us where we need to be if the U.S. is committed to deepening the U.S.-India relationship, which is one of the most defining of the 21st century. My esteemed colleagues have talked about a much more strategic level, but I'm going to try to address what Chairman Shabbat and a lot of the people in the hearing have asked for, specific, simple solutions. I don't think we can boil the ocean in this relationship, so I offer 4 potential opportunities for us. Enhanced education collaboration, which can change the dynamics of this relationship. STEM teacher exchange, which can be a game changer for the U.S. The need to allow exports of natural gas to an energy-starved India, and starting to look beyond New Delhi to different states in India. I'll just briefly elaborate on those 4 points. Enhancing education collaboration. A Hindu proverb states that you can change a nation through education, and I'm a firm believer in this proverb because I think it holds the key for changing U.S.-India relations. For all the short-term fixes we might talk about today, I believe education is a long-term solution which is required for the U.S.-India partnership to thrive. The Alliance for U.S.-India Business, which is an organization which I lead, we have been at the forefront of enhancing dialogue in both countries to create opportunities for building higher quality education because we believe that building global partnerships between U.S. and Indian universities will strengthen the bonds between our 2 nations. Some of the top CEOs and policy leaders in India today are educated from our universities. They take with them the knowledge, values, and experiences of the United States. They take with them the generosity of the American people, and it automatically creates economic and cultural bridges between the 2 countries. It is not a coincidence that Indian companies which are led by American educated CEOs are much more active in the U.S.-India economic relationship. Students from India coming to the U.S. are the 2nd largest group coming to this country. They contribute about $1 billion to us, to the United States. But demand for higher education in India is also increasing. India needs 500 universities and 33,000 more colleges in the next 8 years, which is a $50 billion market. It also needs vocational and technical institutes, which is another $2 billion market opportunity. But where will this additional capacity come from? If it comes from Indian universities partnering with universities and colleges in the states that you represent, I believe we will be on our way to making the kind of difference that needs to be made. We are working, and we have taken over 100 university presidents, deans, provosts to India, and they have engaged with over 1,000 of their counterparts in India. There are student exchanges, faculty exchanges, and R&D going on. This is a win-win relationship that happens. No jobs are lost on either side. Jobs are created, strong cultural bonds are created, and corporate and values are shared. So I think that's a very important point that we should consider. The second point I would make is regarding STEM education. The United States has a tremendous shortage of STEM teachers at the K-12 level. It is especially very acute in rural, inner city, and remote areas, and especially some of your districts. How can we expect our kids to have strong science, math skills when they don't have good teachers or have no teachers? India has a tremendous pool of science and math experts that also speak English. We should consider a specialized short-term program that qualifies these teachers and brings them over for a short duration so that we can create our own pool of STEM experts for the future. Currently, we are working with several states to create a pilot program. The third opportunity I see is for us to export gas to an energy-starved India. Currently, India competes with China and Japan for buying LNG from Qatar and Australia. India is talking to Iran for a gas pipeline. Well, if we were able to export gas to India, if we can find an economically viable and environmentally clear mechanism, it would do 3 things. It would create economic opportunity in the US through exports. It would reduce India's dependence on the Middle East for gas, and also build a more strategic relationship based on their desire for energy independence. And the final point I would make is that we should start looking beyond New Delhi towards states. India has entered an era of coalition politics. The states are much more assertive and powerful. We need to start building ties with the states because sometimes policy paralysis gets to New Delhi. And there are several dynamic states in India like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu that we should engage with. These states have leaders with national aspirations and are looking to produce results through good governance. And we can have a collaboration with them in agriculture, energy, education, technology, and homeland security. And our economic cultural interests would be much better fostered working with them. We recently took a delegation to the state of Punjab, which is the breadbasket of India. And their chief minister, who is the equivalent of our governor, met with the agriculture secretary from Iowa. And he wants to do a farmer-to-farmer exchange. He wants to send farmers from his state to Iowa and Iowa farmers there so that they can have best practices. And I can tell you that will do more than any other big strategic document that you could sign for the future. I thank you for your time and for holding this important hearing, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Puri, and I'd like to thank all the members of